If you're that boss lady who's booked out but burnt out, running fast but getting nowhere, managing a team but constantly repeating yourself over and over again, you're in the right space. This is your safe space. What if I told you women-owned businesses now make up over 14 million enterprises in the US alone? That's nearly 40% of all businesses. Over the last 10 years, that number has jumped 60%, making women the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurs. That should spark your interest right there alone. Well, but hold up, before we do all this celebrating and everything, here's the real reality of why it matters. While women own 40% of businesses, we only make up about 6% of total business revenue. We're overrepresented in ownership and underrepresented in economic power. And if that's not enough, the average women-owned business earns about 40% less revenue than her male-owned business counterpart. And 88% of women-owned businesses are solo shops with no employees. That means majority of us are out here doing everything alone. Why? Wearing every hat. Why? Carrying every weight. Why? And managing every crisis. Again, I ask why? Well, I'll tell you why. You've been out here making it happen without a blueprint. And now you're telling yourself, I'm too good at what I do for business for my business to feel this messy. And you're absolutely right. It's not that you don't have the talent, because you do. It's not you, sis. It's that you're missing the structure. And that's exactly why this space exists. To help you change that. By teaching you how to put real systems in place, lead with clarity, and build a business that can grow without consuming your life. This is where we fix what's messy behind the scenes. This is where we trade and grind for growth, because your brilliance deserves a business that actually works for you and not runs you. This is where we talk structure, alignment, scale, and leadership without all of the chaos, and we gain clarity. Hey there. Welcome to the From Chaos to Clarity podcast. I'm Meshelle McNair, your host, business strategist, and the founder of Nexus Management Solution. This space is designed for women-led businesses, solo CEOs, and small but mighty teams who are tired of just surviving and are ready to scale with systems that serve them and not overwhelm them. In this episode, I'll share my story, why this podcast is for you, and why now is the perfect time for women to stop grinding and get strategic about how they run their business and start building businesses with clarity and confidence, so you can attract the funding, the freedom, and the life you so richly deserve. I've always been that systems and structure type girly. You know, the one who craves order, clarity, and making things work better. And from a very young age, I dreamed of building something of my own. Even before I knew what entrepreneurship was. I didn't grow up around entrepreneurs. No one was modeling it in front of me. I didn't know any business owners, nor did I have any mentors or a roadmap. I just had a quiet desire in me that said you were meant to create. I was at career day in school when the spark first ignited in me. Something inside of me said, girl, that is it. That is you. And from that day forward, I knew exactly what I wanted to be. And it all made sense because I love drawing, art, problem solving, and studying beautifully organized spaces. This eventually led me to a career that allowed me to blend creativity with structure. So I pursued my first love and earned my degree in interior design. After years of learning and designing for others, I finally stepped out on faith and I launched my own interior design firm in 2005, which started my entrepreneur journey. The business quickly became my pride and joy, of course. I had clients, projects, I even had a showroom. Life was good. Then the 2008 housing market crashed. You talking about devastating? My phone stopped ringing, projects disappeared. Eventually, I had to pack it all in. My business collapsed. My savings was drained, and I had no idea how to navigate this new landscape. I lost everything. My business did not survive that crash. In that season of shame and disappointment, I realized something. I realized that I was building on passion alone, but I didn't have a foundation. I had no roadmap, no structure. I just had hustle prayers and sticky notes. But I also learned something powerful too. Talent isn't enough, passion isn't enough, and hard work isn't enough. Without structure, systems, and strategy, a business can't survive. It can't survive success or setbacks. But the thing was, what felt like failure for me became my turning point. So what I did what most of us might do. I went back to school thinking if I earned my degree, which I did, I would level up my business acumen, which I did, and I would also get my interior design firm back on track, which I did not. But what actually happened was I earned my master's in organizational leadership. I redirected my skills and spent the next 10 years working in leadership, operations, system building, training and development, and organizational development and improvement. And I discovered that designing processes is a lot like designing spaces. Both required intention, balance, and flow. The skills that shaped my past aligned with the work I was called to do in my future, and this transformation became my purpose. These are the areas I was already operating in, but I didn't have a clear understanding of. Remember, I told you I earned my first degree in interior design. I learned about colors and spaces. I did not learn how to run a business. Fortunately for me, I had a natural inclination for business, but I did not have the inside knowledge of how to run the business, let alone a successful business. So while I was finishing up my master's degree, I went back into the corporate world thinking, let me sharpen these operational skills and get some experience under my belt. And to be honest, it helped, but it also opened my eyes to the ugly side of leadership. I saw bad leadership everywhere. Teams with no direction, frustrated employees, leaders who were stuck and misguided, and business being held together with duct tape and last-minute fixes. It was chaos disguised as normal. That's when I really started paying attention and asking curious questions. Questions like, what actually makes a business run well without running you into the ground? What makes a business profitable and sustainable? How does a business still work even when you're not the one holding it together with willpower and Wi-Fi? Because in my first business, I declare I was doing all of that. It felt like I was totally doing all of that. But what I learned in my studies was the answer pointed to one core thing: leadership. Not titles, not head count, but leadership. And here's what clicked for me the most. Organizations don't fall apart because of their mission. They fall apart because of misaligned and messy leadership. If there's no structure behind the vision, if there's no systems to support the people, you don't have a sustainable business. You have burnout on the horizon, and your business will eventually fall. But fast forward past all of that, that journey led me to launch Nexus Management Solutions, where I help women-led and minority-owned businesses do what I wish someone had helped me do years ago. I help entrepreneurs move from chaos to clarity by empowering them with the tools and the systems needed for sustainable growth. I am dedicated to teaching businesses how to build the structure, systems, and confidence they need to grow and lead with intention. This space is designed for the woman who has the talent, the clients, and the vision, but knows deep down inside there's no real infrastructure behind her success. I'm here to give you that blueprint, the blueprint I wish I had years ago, strategic, tested, and built for real life to serve women like me, smart, resourceful, powerful women who never got the playbook. My mission is to give you the mindset, the systems, and leadership strategy that help you build without burnout. So why now? Why this podcast? Why is it for you? And why does it really matter? In my work with women entrepreneurs, I've learned that the hustle is often a mask for a lack of clarity. We don't have clear systems and direction. We've been told, work hard, get your grind on, girl, and it'll all work out. Well, I'm here to tell you it doesn't always happen that way. No one scales by running themselves into the ground. And what data and experience shows, working harder won't scale you. Structure will. We need better systems, better support, and a clearer vision of what leadership looks like. Because being the boss and being a leader are not the same thing. And to add another layer to this, despite all of that growth I mentioned earlier, only 2 to 3% of venture capital goes to women-led and minority-owned businesses. And women of color, even less. Black women are starting businesses faster than any other group, but they face the largest funding and revenue gaps. And it's not just because of a lack of resources, it's also a lack of structure. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the mindset and the mechanics that will help you close these gaps. I'm going to break down what keeps women-led businesses stuck and walk you through the strategies, systems, and mindset shifts that actually create growth without burnout. We'll be covering how to build systems that save you time, energy, and money, what it means to grow with alignment, and how to know when you're off track, how to lead and not just manage your business, your team, and yourself. And yes, we're going to talk about real numbers, revenue, profitability, pricing, and scale. So if you felt seen today, This space is just for you. Subscribe to my channel, share this episode with another woman who may need to hear it, and get ready, because we are about to build businesses that don't just pay us, but free us. Also, if you want to take advantage right now, go grab my resource on the 7 profit-draining mistakes keeping women businesses stuck. The link is down below. And if you're ready to go deeper, go to my website. The link is in the notes below, and sign up for my email list. And look out for my upcoming Clarity Accelerator, where we'll be walking through the exact systems that move you from chaos to clarity. This is from the Chaos to Clarity podcast with your girl Meshelle. And remember, chaos doesn't have to be your normal. Structure creates freedom. Growth builds momentum. And leadership changes everything. Let's go get it.